I'm filling a box with a lot of goodies. This is going to be a surprise. This is for somebody, and I'm not going to say who. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog for Monday, March the 11th, 2024, and it's vlog number 353. And hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope everybody is starting to recover from our little time shift. We've sprung ahead by 1 hour, and I don't know about you, but for me, this morning I didn't really want to get up out of bed at my usual time. It just seemed too early. Although it was late. But it wasn't late. But it was dark. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. It takes a couple of days usually to get your system readjusted. So, anyways, let us take a look at what I have been working on. So the first thing is the Windmills and Stars quilt. This is my own design. I do have a pattern for it. I created the pattern. It is all completely done now. I have it bound, I have it quilted, and I think it turned out pretty good. Don't look at the points too carefully in certain spots because they did get a little cut off, just a smudge here and there. And you know, I shouldn't point out my mistakes, but yeah, I do anyways, right? I'm an idiot. But anyways, I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I'm going to talk more about this in detail and point out some things about it tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter if you're interested. The pattern for this will not be available until after the spring retreat, which happens on May the 4th. There'll be information coming out in another week's time about the retreat as well. I'm just jumping ahead of myself here a little bit. But the pattern will basically be offered free to those people who register for the retreat. And after the retreat is over, I will open it up for everybody to get it. And yes, it will be free. Okay. And if you're interested in my first quilt, the one I called When Stars Collide, that is available right now. It's a free downloaded pattern in PDF format. And you will find a link for that in the show notes below if you're interested. Okay, that was one project, but I was on a roll. I finished this as well. This one I call Gears. It is not one of my patterns. It is a commercial pattern. The pattern is from Bella Rosa and it's called Grand Prize, but of course it was based on a panel, and this is also done with a panel. But the panel for the Bella Rose one had a racehorse on it. That's why they called it Grand Prize. But I thought it was a great pattern for, you know, doing something with panels because I never know what to do with a panel. But again, I'm going to talk about this in more detail, especially the quilting, which I'm really pleased with, tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter. Okay, so that takes me to YouTube channel of the week. Okay, I love anything that has to do with UFOs, but there's a lot of cheesy videos out there about UFO sightings and people being, you know, taken up into their spaceship and being probed and having three-headed alien babies and things like that, you know. So it's hard to take those ones seriously. I do believe that we are not alone in the universe, okay? I mean, just mathematically speaking, we can't be. We can't be. So, you know, I don't know if that steps on the toes of the creationists and the God people out there and things like that. But I mean, I don't see it as a conflict. God created everything, right? Okay. But either way, as I said, there's a lot of cheesy videos out there about UFOs. But this one I came across on YouTube. And it is by the National Geographic, and it's called The Global Threat, UFOs Investigating the Unknown. So here's my review of that particular video. This week's YouTube video clip is all about UFOs, called The Global Threat, full episode, UFOs Investigating the Unknown. And this is by National Geographic. So you know if it's from National Geographic, there is a little bit more legitimacy to it than a whole lot of those other videos out there that talk about UFO sightings. Now this is a very interesting one because it talks about why these things are not being reported by the government and why the governments have been hiding that these do not exist. Now, I am, for one person, I do believe there are such things as UFOs because I think just scientifically and mathematically, you just can't believe that we're the only intelligent life, if you can call us intelligent, in the universe. There's got to be other forms as well. So this documentary basically exposes what people have known, have seen, have reported, and why this has not become mainstream news. And it's all because of governments. So if you're interested about the UFO conspiracy, which, by the way, they're starting to lighten up on, then you'll want to watch this documentary by National Geographic. So the link for that video is in the show notes below. You'll also find a link for Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen. This week and next week, Wednesdays is the day that we always have Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen, will be my last two before we go to Australia. Yeah, we leave about the 23rd, 24th to Australia. So, yeah, now that doesn't mean these will stop, because Stephanie will just take over, and more about how you connect with that, because it will be a different link then. Okay, so starting starting March the 27th, Stephanie's going to be all on her lonesome. Well, there'll be lots of the regulars there and anybody else that wants to join in. More about that tomorrow. I tell you there's more about things tomorrow. Why? So you'll go and watch tomorrow's video. Yeah, I'm not ashamed to say that. Okay, now something coming up though. Pop-up Sew Day this coming Saturday. All are welcome. Starts at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, runs till about 5 p.m. Eastern Time. All are welcome, as I said. There's usually a group of regulars there, but new people, we embrace you. Yes, so don't be shy. Link is there in the show notes, as I said. And for those of you on my mailing list, I have sent out to you this morning already the link as well. This will be the last Pop-Up Sew Day for probably about a month. Possibly a little longer, because when we get back, we'll be right on the heels of just about to do the spring retreat, which is May the 4th. So, yeah. And we don't get back until the middle of April. So, enjoy, if you can. And another special thing coming up this week on Wednesday night, which is March the, what's Wednesday night? March the 13th, we have another edition of the Social Review, and that's with the Fab Five, which includes Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches, Shannon of Slay Arts, Russ of Quilt Meets World, and Walter and myself from the Idiot Quilter. And our topic this week, or this month, is how we stay organized. Now, if you want to join in on the conversation for that, because it will be a YouTube live, then you need to go over to Russ's channel, Quilt Meets World, and the link will be there. However, I do have a link for it in the show notes here too. So, yeah, come and join us, hang out. We always have a good time when the five of us get together, and we encourage you to make comments and ask questions during our little live get-together. So that's this coming Wednesday, March the 13th, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Bring a drink, bring a friend, bring food, whatever. And you will find links for all my friends' YouTube channels in the show notes below as well. And let's turn to page 2, shall we? And yeah, and there's also a list of this week's past videos that I made. So if you missed any of my stuff, then it's there for you to enjoy. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening with the weather. Okay, so it's -2 right now, and we had a little snow yesterday, late in the day, but just trace amounts. There wasn't enough to accumulate on the ground. Good. It's been a very dry winter here for us in the area of Canada we live in. Not all places in Canada have had very little snow, but we have had very little snow this winter. I'm waiting. This is only March. It would not be unusual for us to suddenly get a big, huge dump. at the end of this month or even into April. I'm just hoping it doesn't decide to dump it when we're about to fly to Australia. It's already bad enough getting on these planes and trying to get to your destination. They don't make that easy anymore, do they? In fact, I talked yesterday about the fact that my sister just got back from 2 weeks in Mexico, and her flights there and back were hell. Yes. So anyways, if you're interested in that, check out Stephen and Walter Live from this past Sunday. But in the meantime, here it's -2, which is pretty much what you'd expect this time of the year. But today's high is 7. Tomorrow's high is 12. But look at Wednesday, 16. Now, for those of you that aren't in the metric system, 16 is basically 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, shorts weather. Yep, shorts weather. And Thursday's 13, and Friday we're dropping now on Friday and Saturday, but it's still not going below 0 for the next week or so. So really nice weather. Have no idea what it will be on the day we fly out, but we'll worry about that when that happens. Looking towards Australia, Sydney's high for today is 28. Well, that's nice. Okay, yeah, you're going to say that's really hot. Well, it is. It's in the 90s, right? Let me think. 28 and 28 is 56 and 30, 86. 86 degrees. Well, that's not bad. Okay. And Brisbane, because we're going there, the high today is going to be 27. So, I don't think that's bad. In fact, I welcome those temperatures. I do. Because it's nice to go someplace warm this time of the year. Anyway, so that's the weather we have to look forward to. And yeah. Okay, so that takes me to what's pissing me off this week. Well, you saw in the title, Lies, Lies, Lies. Why do people lie? Well, all right, let's talk about the lies at several different levels here. Let's start at the top with our governments, shall we? And I don't think anybody is surprised by the fact that governments do lie, but I just want to talk a little bit about here in Ontario, Canada. We have a really big liar who is our premier, the head of our province, okay? Doug Ford. And he's a great propagandist. And I don't know, he's not pulling the wool over my eyes, and I don't know how many people he's really fooling. He spends a lot of money on advertising on both TV and on YouTube, talking about the province of Ontario and how great it is to live in this province, and we have it all, and all this kind of stuff. And these are glossy advertisements there, so these have cost a pretty penny. Of course, what's he worried about? It's not from his pocket, although he is a millionaire. It's out of my pocket. It's out of our pocket as citizens. That is money. That is money that could be used in so many better ways. And it's all lies. It is all lies. He makes it sound like our healthcare system has never been better. It has never been worse. We're losing doctors. We're losing nurses because they're not being paid what they should be paid for what they do, especially nurses, especially the hospital support staff and like that. And that's all because of him and his government. But he's making it sound like it's so wonderful. He's making it sound like our province is very prosperous. Well, we're not bad. But you have to understand something about Ontario in relation to the rest of Canada. In fact, the rest of Canada kind of hates us because this is where the center of money is in Canada. Also, pretty much the center of power, because money is power, isn't it? Unfortunately, but it is in our system. We control the bucks. They're here in Ontario. And that's probably why lots of the other provinces around resent us as well. But it's not all, roses coming up everywhere here. We have a horrible problem with refugees. There's no support system for them. We have increased crime rate. Highest I think that's ever been. I mean, it depends on who's telling you this. They like to tell you, the government, that crime has never been lower. Well, I don't know. Every day I turn on the news and somebody has been shot, and it's more than one person at a time in Toronto especially, but in other parts of Ontario too. We're having problems with our Indigenous people. Well, the problems we're having with them are problems because our province and our government, our national government, don't support them the way they need to be. There's actually people living on reservations that do not have clean water and have not had clean water for many, many years. That's, to say the least, shameful. But everything's rosy. Everything's smelling nice. So it's just lie after lie after lie. Well, this carries down to your municipal governments, doesn't it? Here where I live, the government's talking about, oh, everything's really great. We're not going to put up your taxes. Oh, yes, they are. Oh, yes, they are. The services that we get, they're talking about how wonderful they are. They're not. They're not. Some people might say that these are all first world problems. Yes, they are. But I live in the first world. Think about it. That's a stupid statement. First world problems. Well, yeah. How do you have third world problems in a first world country? Although we're supposed to be, our cities in Ontario here in Canada were world class. I'm really not sure what that means. Like they always try to promote Toronto, the politicians, as being a world class city. Why? Yes, it's a multicultural city. Even that they make sound good. Yeah, but we're having problems between various ethnic cultural groups. We have Palestinians and Israelis right now fighting in our streets. Basically, they call it a protest. I call it a fight because they are having to call the cops in to control them. Some of these radical people in those groups, and there's always radicals in every group, are, defacing mosques and temples, and things like that. But it's not just isolated to those two groups. We have all kinds of problems between other groups. So if multiculturalism means that you're going to have, let's say it, race riots in the streets of your largest city in Canada, then yeah. So multiculturalism is very, very much a lie. Okay, world class. Oh, God, no. Toronto's in such debt, and every other day there's a scandal about where money has gone and who did what to which. I think the latest scandal is about the money that was put out to get the, the World Soccer, or whatever they call it, FIFA or whatever, here in another year or two or whatever. It's all corrupt. It's all corrupt. But then you've heard me say this before. Show me a politician and I'll show you corruption, because it's just natural. It doesn't matter who the politician is. They're all corrupt. They're all in it for themselves. So, yeah, lies. More lies. Well, let's bring it down to just everyday, ordinary people. Okay? Go on an app. We talked about this yesterday on Stephen Walter Live. Go on an app like Nextdoor. That's supposed to be an app where people can share information that's important to their local community, talk about businesses that they've had good relations with, things that are going to make your living environment more enjoyable and that kind of stuff. No, what you have on there are a bunch of people lying about what's happened to them. And they stir up crap all the time. And there's misinformation left and right. Lies. It's all lies. Advertisers. Well, we expect advertising to lie. But the latest thing, of course, we have food inflation. And there's all kinds of lies in that industry. Here we have something that's essential. We need food. Okay? Prices have gone up. They blame it on COVID. No, they're making record profits. They declare this. They're proud of it. It's like they're snubbing us. They're throwing it in our face. Hi, we just made record profits off of you suckers because now you have to take out a mortgage to buy a green pepper. Yeah, really. Uh-huh. Oh, we're freezing prices though. On what? On the garbage that you're putting on the shelves? Even things that used to be staples for people who did not have a lot of money, and I'm talking about your pastas and tomato sauce and stuff like that, they've jerked the prices up on those several times up. Poor people can't afford to eat. And more people are going to food banks as a result. But they're lying to us. Bold-faced lies. Throwing it in our face. Look at how much we've made, but we're helping you out. Yeah, we're helping you to stretch a buck. No, lies. So I'm tired of the lies. But what can we do about the lies? Well, I hate to say it, but I don't know. Nothing. Nothing. If people would just tell the truth so we could deal with the truth, I think our lives would be easier. But you can't deal with things that are constantly changing and constantly being spun in a direction that is not positive. We can't even trust media outlets, and we all know this, because they spin it all too. And the latest spin is about measles. Not saying it doesn't exist, because it does exist, but they take their statistics and they blow it up out of proportion and they get us all panicking. And you can't help but think that possibly this has been started more or less by the drug companies. Because when you think about it, who's making the money from a disease? The drug companies that are creating vaccinations for these things. Now, I'm pro vaccinations for sure. Right now, I am trying to figure out whether or not I can get a measles shot. I had measles when I was like 6 years old. But, probably that was over 60 years ago. Probably need a booster. Okay, and we're going off to Australia, so it's good to be protected. But of course, there's a backlog. Suddenly they've had a lot of people wanting to find out whether or not they need the measles vaccination. This is what they tell us. I don't believe it. It's lies. It's lies. The problem is, and we go back to square one, where I was talking about how the Ford government has wrecked our healthcare system. This is part of it. They probably need more people. The people that are there are probably burnt out. The ones that do the testing of blood samples to find out all the good things that might be in your blood. And they're probably overworked and underpaid. And that, again, is the government. But no. Here in Ontario, where I live, it's never been better. Right. So, I trust nobody. I don't trust any sources of information anymore. It's just, what do you do? What do you do? And I'm not lying about that. Okay, let's go to new products. Well, I bought something really exciting on Amazon this week. Socks. Yes, I said it. I bought socks. I needed socks. Well, yeah, I could go to Walmart. I could go to Mark's Work Warehouse, those places, and get socks. You'd think. No, you can't. Oh, yeah. They have socks, but they're not the socks I want. And sometimes they're not in the size range that I need. So I go online. And I've been doing that more and more, and I think other people are as well. You're going online to buy your clothing. I went on Amazon. I found a brand name that I like, Fruit of the Loom, and I bought a package of socks. Cost me $21 for 12 pairs. Black socks, men's black socks. I'm wearing them right now. They're very comfy. They do the job. And I got them like within a day. So, yeah. This is why people shop on Amazon. Okay, you say what you will about Amazon, because everybody's got horror stories. Everybody's got a hate on for Amazon because, Amazon is Amazon. But if I can't get the stuff at Walmart or Mark's Work Warehouse or other outlets, then I'm going to go to Amazon. And I could go to some of these other stores online to buy things too. But, half the time, Mark's Work Warehouse, anything that I want, they're out of on their online. It makes me wonder whether or not they even have any stock of anything, because there's nothing in the store and there's nothing online. And Walmart, no. I've had a bad experience ordering online from Walmart. They suck. Quite frankly, they suck. Now, I know someone's going to write a comment and go, I order stuff from Walmart all the time and it's just great. Good for you. And you're probably American. So, it's a different world in the States when it comes to buying things online and sellers and things like that. You would think that Walmart, because it's an American company, would be the same here as it is in the States. It's not. It's not. So, anyways, yep, I bought socks online. That's the only thing new this week that I bought. Excitement. What a life, eh? Okay, so grow light project. Well, let me get my pictures up here. No, we have not resorted to eating our philodendrons, okay? But I thought I'd show you my philodendron farm, for lack of a better word, as opposed to the grow lights, because right now the grow lights are the same as they were last week and have been for the last little while, because you know that we're just eating up what's left of our lettuce on that before we go to Australia and our tomato plants. And when we come back from Australia, we're going to start fresh with the grow lights. So nothing there to see. But I thought you might want to see how my philodendrons are doing. Now, this is the mother plant, okay? This plant we've had for, many, many years. We just recently cut it back. It was dripping down onto the floor or hanging over onto the floor. This was actually a plant that Walter's oldest sister, who passed away quite a few years ago now, she had. And after she passed away and the house was getting, cleaned out and all that kind of stuff, we brought home the philodendron. So this philodendron is probably, over 20 years old, I would say now. And it's the only kind of green plant that I can grow without killing, as far as house plants are concerned. And I like philodendrons, well, mainly because I don't kill them, or they don't die on me, and I can start new ones. So when COVID hit, I got the idea, well, I need to trim back the philodendron, but I didn't want to cut off parts of it and just throw them out. So I rooted them, and well, this is what's happened. This is my philodendron farm, or whatever you want to call it. And right now I notice there on the end where it's hanging over the counter, it's time to do a little trim back there and start rooting some more. And I have actually some down at the far end. You can't see it very well down where the little watering can is. There is a vase or vase, however you want to say it, sitting there with philodendrons that have lots and lots of roots. I need to transplant those, get them into dirt. I quite like them. They bring me joy. I love seeing green things in my house. And these are green, these are luscious. And as I said, take very little care. I water them about every other week. I start to water them actually when I see them starting to look a little droopy and tired. So probably next week, just before we leave for Australia, I give them all a good watering and they'll be fine while we're gone. But yeah, I just love them. They're just lush and they're green. I see a brown leaf in there, gotta weed it out. And I do that regularly as well. So yeah, I'm a sucker for a philodendron. Okay, so that takes me to the 3D corner. Well, I have been madly making all kinds of things, as you know, and I upgraded my couple of my machines to automatic bed leveling. Had a problem yesterday with one of the machines on the automatic bed leveler. Somehow I got it way out of whack and it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do, but I think I have fixed it. I spent most of the day tinkering with it. It isn't so much that there was a mechanical problem as much as there was a problem in the settings, and that I don't know how I got it off, but anyways, they're still not at plug and play, although the newest one, as I've told you before, is as close as you're going to get, I think, at least in the Creality line of plug and play. But yeah, so I have finished making all the things I wanted to make for the retreat in December. I mean, it's getting a little crazy. I just keep finding things and go, ooh, that'd be good. So let's make 16 of them. So I've got to find something else to make. And I have. I am now experimenting. Let me put it up on the screen. This is an Easter egg, and you'll notice it's in different colors, and that's by design. I have all these bits and pieces of filament left over from other projects that have been accumulating in my filament cupboard. Yes, I have a filament cupboard, several of them actually. And I thought, well, on the new printer, when it runs out of filament, why not stick in a different color? Now, you're going to say, well, that makes sense. Yes, it does. But the problem is with my older printers, this was not always easy to do. And a lot of it has to do with bed leveling. Because, yes, you would pause the machine, you would switch colors, and it would rev up again. But oftentimes, because of the leveling issue, you'd have a lopsided little print out of it. So I didn't do it very often. But on the new printer, that is not a problem. It's really easy to switch a color. So, and on my ones with the automatic leveling system, which I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to. That's an experiment for this week. I'm going to try the same thing. But it's a great way to use up small bits of filament. So I think my next project, my next experiment, is to do something like this, which is in one color. It's a vase. I did that yesterday. Actually, I used it as a test model for after I adjusted the printer that I was having trouble with to make sure that I've got everything back the way it's supposed to be. And yes, this turned out quite nice. So I'm going to maybe do a couple of vases and something and, use up those little bits and pieces of filament to make sort of multicolored, striped kind of creations. It's all an experiment. It's all play. Okay, and that's what I've said before. 3D printers are toys for big boys. Okay, so that takes me to Blast from the Past. This is the third part of the Barossa Valley Wineries tour, for lack of a better word. We weren't on an organized tour. It was our own little thing. We went from one winery to another. But here's the third part of that. We will be hitting up some wineries in the Hunter Valley of Australia when we're there this time. And of course, there'll be a whole new raft of videos coming out while we're on that trip and once we get home as well. But this is from 2018. This is part 3 of the Barossa Valley Winery adventure. So we have arrived at Jacobs Creek Winery. This is one that we drink a fair amount of. And we'll see what kind they have here because Walter says it's probably a huge winery and it's probably the cheap shit.
Oh, no, we get the cheap shit.
No.
They probably send the cheap shit to Canada.
Well, anyways, we'll see what it's all about. Bump. And there's a guy trying to commit hara-kiri right there. Great big solar panels over there. Ouch, bounce, bounce.
So they just opened. It's like 10 after 11. They opened at 11.
Oh, we beat the Chinese. Yay. Buses.
Oh, yeah.
I may have spoke too soon. So we shall see what we shall see. So you can see Jacob Creek's vineyards. They go for miles. What's that? Oh, Toronto. Where's he from? Oh yeah, there it is. See that? Signpost, Toronto. We're only, what's it say? 16,528 kilometers away from home. Good to know. What, the different kinds? You have all these beanbag chairs out here. Saw those in by the visitor center too earlier. I'm taking on a little walk here with us. There we are. It's New York. Oh, right there. 16,528 kilometers from home.
Actually, we're exactly the same distance from London.
Are we?
Yeah, almost exactly.
Oh.
1657.
Well, I didn't know you were taking a picture. Excuse me. You're in my shot.
You're standing at.
I'm taking video here.
Not in front.
Where do you want me?
Somewhere so I can get the... No, over a little bit more. There, okay. Okay.
Fine. You're in my video. So we will go inside. Looks like the tasting's back there. That's a wine cap.
Maybe the bus.
Oh, maybe. Twin pickings, but those are Moscatos. I don't like Moscatos. Pinot Grigio. 15. There you can get a 3-pack. It's a Rosé, Sauvignon Blanc, and something else. And Pinot Grigio, but it has a Rosé in it.
$200.
Oh, $200? Let's go for it. Oh, look. Yeah, the Asians are here.
Wow, you spoke too soon.
I know. I always do. Okay, so let's go around here. All types. Little bottles. 4 classic series of Shiraz, Cabernet, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, and Merlot. This must be the restaurant.
How are we doing?
Hi, good.
That's good.
You mind if I take video?
No, you're most welcome to. That's fine. And
So, what do you want to try?
I don't know, what do you want?
Well, this sounds interesting. The sparkling Shiraz.
Yep. You got 20 of those?
Is it a dry one?
Well, I don't know. How would I know if it doesn't say? You have to try it, see
Little
it.
Harvest Pinot Grigio.
You got Reserve Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Hi.
How you going?
Yeah, there's a couple we'd like to try.
Okay.
with the
Yeah,
Pinot
try
Noir.
that one.
Give you a pencil. If you want to go through and tick the ones
Yeah.
that you would like to try.
Oh, sure.
So you can try 4 for free.
Do the video.
Or
You're on camera.
Do you have the sparkling Shiraz that you can try?
yeah.
Okay.
So that's that one
It's
there.
on there.
And try the double barrel Shiraz. And what else?
What about the? Where was it? Not the Muscat. It was when you
Cool
that
Harvest?
one. Yeah, the Cool
Okay.
Harvest.
Try that.
No worries. So Canadians.
Yeah. Can tell by our accent, eh?
It was the.
Just
It was
just
the-
one glass because I'm
That's what
driving.
gave it away.
Yeah. Just,
So sparkling Chardonnay Pinot Noir.
Just the one glass.
we'll just
Just the one
yeah,
glass?
because he's driving. So
Do you want a little taste at all?
I'll try it a little bit.
So similar methods and styles as creating a French champagne. You notice that main characteristic in there is Granny Smith apple.
that's nice.
Did we have that on the list? Chardonnay?
Yeah, right there.
Okay, that one. Oh,
Okay. So
I
yeah,
didn't realize it was sparkling. Actually, that's nice.
yeah. Don't get too at it.
Yeah. No, I know.
See, we can only in Canada, where we live, there's only about a couple of your wines that we can get because we
Yeah.
buy them all the time.
So you probably get. Well, you
Yeah,
would've
we
seen
don't
this
like
one there.
Moscato.
But we don't like those ones. Like we don't like Moscato.
Usually, yeah, Chardonnay
Yeah.
and Pinot Noir sparkling.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And there's something else, I can't remember.
there's only about 4.
Yeah.
So I think we sell this one to you guys in cans.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can actually do have that in cans, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Canned wine. Okay. Okay.
Seems
so-
ridiculous, but
Yeah.
people like it. You finished with that one?
Yeah.
Yep. So everything you don't want to finish?
Just do the wine glass because
Yep.
Alright. Cool Harvest Pinot Grigio. So cool harvest means harvested in the cool of night, so around 2, 3, even 4 o'clock in the morning, so we retain that acidity. So during the day the grapes get quite warm, the sugar level goes up, the acidity level drops. So at night time that all has time to restore. We've got the acidity back, so we can make a nice crisp wine.
Yeah, I like that one.
yeah.
Okay.
So you
And dump that in there.
Double barrel Shiraz.
Next, the double barrel Shiraz. So 18 months in French and American oak barrels, and then just under 3 months in whiskey barrels. And what that whiskey barrel does is kind of imparts its own little bit of flavour in there. It also gets in there and smooths it out, so it's a very nice, rich wine.
Yeah, I was going to say it's very smooth.
Yeah. It's good.
So you notice how young this is as well, 2016. So incredible aging potential.
Yeah. It's very dry too.
Okay,
Nice.
so I'll get one of each and then
Yeah. Okay, so
And the last one, sparkling Shiraz, also known as Christmas in a glass over here. 'Cause we love drinking red wine all year, but during our summers it gets pretty hot, so we like a nice, refreshing, little bit of sweetness, sparkling red.
I've never tasted one like that before. That's see when it hits.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I
There's a
know.
really nice kind of cherry flavours in
Yeah,
there.
it is.
Yeah.
That's good.
That sweetness kind of picks up those fruity characteristics in the wine.
Okay, that's great. So if we want these,
You can purchase them from
with
here.
it? Okay, we want one of each.
One of each?
Yep.
Sure.
So, as you saw there, we bought 4 bottles, which are 4 bottles of Jacob's Creek that we cannot get. Oh.
In 300 meters, make a U-turn.
So as we said, as the car just about tried to back into us, we bought 4 bottles of wine there that we cannot get in our area in Canada. And one of them is a sparkling red, which tastes, they call it their Christmas wine, but it's
In
got a
200 meters,
very
make a
interesting
U-turn,
flavor
then take the
to it.
first
It's
left.
kind of sweet, kind of cherry-ish in the background. So course, we got a bottle of that to try as well, because we do enjoy the sparklings at times. So now we're off to something called Chateau, what's it called?
Yolanda or something.
Chateau Yolanda or something. We have no idea what
When
this is.
possible, make a
Whatever.
U-turn,
So
then
this
take
will
the
be
first
a
left.
magical mystery tour. And that takes me to events in the past week. Well, I had my colonoscopy follow-up call, and it left me a little bit disturbed. Okay. I did mention to you that they did, when they were doing the colonoscopy, removed one polyp. That's all I had. And according to the form I saw, they called it something or said, didn't seem like they had anything to worry about, because I was going to be scheduled to have another colonoscopy in 5 years, which is pretty much normal for people my age. Okay, great. So I wasn't expecting anything radical when the doctor called me on the follow-up last Monday. And it isn't radical. However, the doctor told me what kind of polyp it was. It came back after it had been biopsied, or whatever you want to call it, that they do. They check it for cancer. And it came back benign. However, she says this particular type of polyp is sometimes, we watch that carefully because it can be precancerous. Now, I don't have cancer. It was benign. But instead of going every 5 years, now she wants me to go and contact my doctor. That'll go in 3 years' time again. Okay, because, they're watching it. Well, I'm a worrier. And so guess what? I'm worrying about this. But, I don't want to be worrying for 3 years. I know that, everything will be fine. Don't have to worry about it. But I wasn't really expecting to hear that. The other thing was, of course, I have diverticulitis. Well, diverticulitis, is that how you say it? Whatever, little pouch in it. I knew I had that. The last time I had a colonoscopy, the doctor told me that. And he said, it's nothing really to worry about. I'd heard the old wives' tale. It's what he told me. It was an old wives' tale about don't eat nuts and seeds and things like that. Well, he told me at that time, he says, you don't have to really worry about that. So anyway, she said, yeah, you've got that, but she's got a wonderful bedside manner. Yeah, she says, don't let yourself get constipated. Get more fiber in your diet, because, if you're constipated and you're pushing on this and all this kind of stuff, sorry, don't be eating while I'm talking about this, okay? You can basically blow your organs out of your butthole. Kind of a thing. It wasn't quite that, but, and I went, oh, okay. And she says, yeah, this is fairly common in North America because of the North American diet. We don't get enough fiber in our diet. So, eat more veggies, leafy green veggies and stuff like that, which I eat now, but I know I need to eat more of that kind of stuff. So I wasn't a real happy camper after that conversation. I don't like doctors to start with, and this is why I don't like doctors, because do you ever get really good news? They might start with good news, but then they give you all these other warnings and stuff like that. I know it's their job. They're preparing you, and I appreciate her being upfront and honest about everything, but that is part of her job. It's just that you don't want to hear stuff like this. But I guess you have to look on the positive side. One, the polyp was benign. I do not have cancer. We're just doing some preventative maintenance. Okay. I'm good to go. All right. And what else happened last week? Nothing. Nope, nothing. Nothing. It's kind of a dull week. Well, when I say dull week, I mean nothing sensational happened out of it, but I'm always busy. I'm always working away at something. So, yeah, for me, it was just par for the course. Okay, so what's coming up? Well, I've already mentioned the social review. Links in the show notes. That's Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. We've got Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen on Wednesday during the day as well, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern and going to about 4 p.m. And there's Pop-Up Sew Day on this coming Saturday, March the 16th, starting at 8 a.m. until about 5 p.m. Come and go as you please. So yeah, there's lots of stuff coming up this week, so no need to be bored. And I have a ton of things I got to get done today as well. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great week. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Idiot Quilter. We'll see you on Friday for So Chatty, another session in Walter's and my series on using your machine, embroidery machine. And then, of course, Sunday rolls around and we have Stephen and Walter live. Have a great one. We'll see you later. Bye for now.